Okay. Now, hello everyone. I'm very happy to be here. It's my first time in India, and I'm blown away by the energy, actually. Also by our master of ceremonies that sadly did not manage to introduce me, but also he is bringing a lot of energy here. My first touch point with Web3 actually was in 2015, and back then I was challenged with the task of being able to pay in Bitcoin a coffee before the coffee would get cold. Now this sounds like a trivial challenge, but back then most of the wallets were actually in laptops, so that's not really practical. And you had this problem with the block time. What we ended up building was a state channel system with a mobile app, because I was in the mobile security space myself. This later on, as the time progressed, turned out to become then the Lightning Network, and I, at some point, then started focusing on Web3 in general. And I've seen a couple of things, and the reason why we started with Acurast is because we believe that in order to be able to really fuel the next wave of adoption in Web3 is that you need to have something we call universal interoperability. And what I mean by that is you had basically Ethereum that got a lot of traction with a lot of crowdfundings. And then all these very well-funded entities started to develop silos. And one of the most successful and very open platforms, of course, is Polkadot, which allows all the parachain to interoperate with each other. But still, what if you have a user that sits on Ethereum, or a user that has Bitcoin to spend and wants to participate on your platform? Because let's face it, in the end, the user will not care about where your software is running on which blockchain. The user does, however, care a lot about the user experience that they're getting. So this is a huge opportunity because, as I said, these little planets are very well funded, have an own governance, and are populated with a lot of developers. But if you can lower the entry barrier for users, if you can lower the entry barrier of choice for a developer where they want to build, that's, of course, a huge opportunity. And that's where the Acurast universe comes into play. We have built a platform that allows not only to communicate between blockchains, but also allows off-chain data to come on-chain, so integrate with the Web2 world as well in a verifiable, trustless, permissionless, decentralized way. Furthermore, the way we have set it up is in modules, so that at some point you can just add modules to it to further lower the entry barrier. Every single module in there, every single chain in there is actually capable of consuming all of the Acurast universe. Like it's one abstraction that the more people join, the more modules there are, the more utility you get out of this, of course. Here are the 4 modules that we're starting to build and have built. I mean, the first one is the Starship Enterprise. This is where you basically observe data from the real world through APIs and so on and so forth, and bring it on-chain. Now, a concrete example here would be DeFi platforms that are looking to evaluate assets to be used as collateral. So there is one DeFi platform that is already using Acurast today to secure more than 50 million in value locked. Then the next module is Hyperdrive, which at the speed of light is capable of transferring or messaging between 2 completely unrelated blockchains. And also this one is already ready for you to use. and already used as well in production. Now, when it comes to Singularity, the AI module, and when it comes to Mesh, the IoT module, these are just visions at this moment. And we are actually looking to be collaborating with projects that have focus in exactly this area. So we're very happy if you are in this area. Please talk to us, because it is something that we added to the roadmap and we see can add value to the Acurast universe. Now, how is this all made possible? Well, it's made possible through devices that all of you probably know, these little mobile devices. And the reason for that is that mobile devices are not only very accessible for everyone to just buy and operate, but they actually have kind of the most advanced hardware security modules out there. Now, this might sound a little bit counterintuitive, but if you think about it, these devices need to be protected by something that no other server or laptop needs to be protected from, and that is their mobile. This means you can forget them somewhere, someone can just steal them from you. The engineers at Google and iOS spend a lot of time developing architectures for hardware security modules that now basically allow you to use these devices for very, very security-sensitive tasks, such as e-banking or managing your identity and so on and so forth. That's why we started to build the whole platform using these devices. The way it works is that basically the device is being locked down and just offering this trusted execution environment to be used for developers then to use. And if you are someone that wants to provide this device, you become what we call a processor, and processors then get paid for offering the devices. Already today, you can actually onboard with your device. Your device will be dedicated only for this, so you cannot do calls with it anymore. If you get the impression that you should move on, you will wipe the device and go back to being usable for what it was before. Where developers that want to use this layer and processors come together is in this self-service marketplace. And well, there you basically advertise what you have and advertise what you're looking for. On the roadmap side, I already kind of told you a little bit about the AI Singularity and Mesh part, but what is also worth mentioning is that the whole system that orchestrates these devices is basically a parachain. It's using Substrate, and it's embedded into the Polkadot Kusama ecosystem, and we're looking now actually to receive first a Kusama slot and then at some point move over to the Polkadot slot as well. Now, if you want to get involved, I think it's still very early, but stuff is already around for you to get your fingers dirty. If you are a developer, you can go on docs.acurast.com. If you want to provide infrastructure, so if you want to provide this hardware security module for developers to use, you can go on console.acurast.com. The setup is very easy. You will basically see a QR, and then if you scan that QR, your phone magically turns into a processor and cannot be used for anything else. And of course, if you're neither of those and just want to join the community, the @Acurast is our handle on Twitter, which would also be on the slide down there, but the formatting has cut it away. Yeah, that's it from my side. I hope I could bring a little bit nearer to you a topic that really matters a lot to me. And I hope to be welcoming all of you in the Acurast universe very, very soon. Thank you.